dad was always like the cattle business, so he got into that. We got into the cattle feeding business in probably the mid-1960s. And then from there I got into the beef processing. And then Interstate 5 came through in the 1970s, and everyone could see there was going to be a need for some kind of facilities, and both service stations and restaurants and hotels and everything. Nothing was out here. So he always liked the restaurant business, and his wife at the time, Ann Lee Harris, had a sort of a theatrical background, and she liked the idea of having a restaurant. So the restaurant was built in 1977, and it started out a lot smaller than it is today. And it was a good success from the start because it had high quality and established itself on the I-5 scene. We could see that to have a restaurant, you need a hotel, really. The hotel business, you have some people could stay and be more of a destination and a conference center. And so we built the hotel in 1986, and that further helped the restaurant. And we put in a banquet room, and one thing leads to another, and we're up to a point that we probably go through about 1,500 meals a day here. What makes Harris Ranch unique? I think we have a real great cadre of employees that can really see what the customers like and take a lot of pride both in the food and service, and we've had some great chefs over the years, and sous chefs and kitchen people, and then that combined with the front of the house has really worked.
I think it's an honor for Mr. Harris, which is incredibly deserved, but it's also a testament to everybody that works here. And I can tell you that everybody is immensely proud of Mr. Harris and what's been accomplished here, from Mrs. Harris, and for everybody that's been involved in this complex for nearly 40 years.
Congratulations, it's well deserved. I think you've been a model throughout our entire community, not only as a restaurateur, but as a Californian.
This award means to me that Mr. Harris got this is amazing. The fact that he got this award is, to me, is outstanding, that he deserves it.
This honor means a lot to me for Mr. Harris or the Harris family, because they are wonderful owners. They care about their employees, whether it's a server, a cashier, or a manager. So for them to receive this honor, it falls back on all employees, and it's a great honor for them.
John Harris is a wonderful man that cares not only about his employees and the company, but the community in the state of California. And he is heavily involved in all aspects of our business. Shows up every day, working hard to make a contribution. He's our leader, and anytime you're part of a team and your leader is honored, we all feel honored.
I think people is probably the key in any kind of a restaurant business. And then the dedication to high quality. We pride ourselves on our clean restrooms and nice appearance when you walk in. And my wife Carol's been real involved in a lot of the decor. So the decor is unique and upscale and very inviting. And we held that consistency in all of the different additions. We have a cattle feedlot where we buy cattle from all over the West. And most of them are California, but some may be from Oregon, and some are coming from Mexico. And when they arrive here, they're usually weigh about 600 or 700 pounds, and they're on feed. If cattle are fed a grain ration, the beef quality is superior because you get marbling, and that is really what creates the flavor of beef and the tenderness. Originally, we were probably doing about 300 head a day, 5 days a week. Now we're doing about 1,000 head 5 days a week. So we're up to, and each head would represent about 700 pounds of beef. So it's a lot of beef, although we're still not a major player. We think we're a major player, but percentage-wise, we're probably maybe 1% of the U.S. production. But we think we've got a nice niche in that we can really cater to our customers' needs and customize programs that they may like, and get a lot of feedback from them and try to develop what works best for them, and do it at a value to them that they can pass on. We grow almonds and pistachios, which they're used extensively here, and if we ever get our water back, we grow quite a bit of lettuce, both in the spring and fall, and some broccoli, and we grow onions and garlic, and at times we're growing carrots. So almost any kind of a vegetable out here. One of their big vegetables we grow is processing tomatoes. So we're one of the largest suppliers of ketchup, like Heinz ketchup and a few other brands. So that people don't really think about the West Side as a ketchup belt, but a big percent of the nation's tomato paste comes from this area, and same way with almonds and pistachios. We have beef and the farming, and we've gotten into some processing. We have almond processing and tomato processing. And then, of course, one of my passions has always been horse racing. And we've been raising horses out here for about 50 years, really. And we've been successful. We've raised two U.S. champions here. Latest one was California Chrome, who won the Derby and the Preakness, and is still racing. And he's the #1 Calbred money earner. And the other one is Tiz Now, who won the Breeders' Cup twice and is a very successful stallion in Kentucky. Horse racing is like the restaurant business. It's not real easy, but it's always a challenge. It's interesting to see how you can do. Anyone that can make it in the restaurant business can probably make it in anything. So it takes a lot of fortitude and determination to do well in the restaurant business. And I think a lot of it is just that hire good people and manage them well and keep your quality standards up, and be very careful on any sanitation issues, and just a lot of attention to details, like any business really, but probably even more so with the restaurants. Well, it's a real honor to be recognized by your peers and people that are in the area that you've known over the years, and I always feel humble, I guess, or not necessarily as deserving as a lot of people might be, because I don't think myself as strictly a restaurant person, and some people are probably really more well versed in the restaurant business than I am. But it's a fascinating business, and to be recognized like I am tonight is a real thrill. I really want to, very sincerely thank the California Restaurant Association for this honor, and it's really an honor for our whole restaurant and team, and we're very gratified and much appreciate it, and hope that we can maintain the standards to deserve it.